I am Iron Man. Spiky Bits. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com. Today we have something a little bit different for you. I've been, collecting action figures off and on pretty much all my life. Still have some of my original stuff, as you can kind of see behind me here. Some original Transformers, some original He-Mans, and got some of my old G.I. Joes and stuff. So a lot of cool figures. Been collecting up over the years, and had a lot of fun with that. Recently, I got into collecting kind of larger scale figures, and you might have noticed we've been talking about them on the site a lot, and we've been pushing a lot of traffic over to a website called Entertainment Earth. And I like Entertainment Earth because I used to buy from them like way back in the day. They started out in like '96 or something. I bought tons of stuff from them over the years, and I haven't really bought anything in about the past 10 years or so because I really wasn't into that. Focused more on the hobby kind of heavily, and I'm kind of where I'm at with the hobby right now, the miniatures hobby. So I've been buying a lot of other things just to kind of spruce up the office and have a little bit of fun. But long story short, which is never the case on these videos, Entertainment Earth contacted me and they're like, hey, you send us a lot of traffic. You want to buy? We'll just give you something and you can talk about it and send some more people our way. And I was like, absolutely. I like free stuff. Especially if it's things I'm into as a side hobby, for sure. So they sent me a gift card, and I really wasn't sure what I was going to spend it on until I saw this. So at first glance, I was like, man, $90 for an action figure, why? It didn't make much sense to me, to be quite honest. I'm new to the action figure scene, the 1/12 scale, the 1/6 scale. I did a little bit of Star Wars in the late 90s when that stuff was all the rage. Still have a few of those. Matter of fact, I want to get my speeder bike back. My Star Wars speeder bike. That thing was pretty cool. So I might have to hit up eBay for that one. But because I misplaced it. This kit, $89. I was like, man, I don't know. It looks cool, I guess. And I was reading about it. It's ThreeZero. I like ThreeZero. I've got you might have saw them in the opening. I've got their Storm Shadow and their Snake Eyes figures that came out full scale. They do everything by scale now, but really it's a 12-inch figure, right? And you've probably seen a lot. G.I. Joe started out as 12-inch figures in the 70s, which is really neat. So 1/12 scale, I was like, all right, so it's about 7-inch tall figure, whatever. But what caught my eye about this particular figure here was that it has metal die-cast plates, parts in here. So actual metal, along with ABS plastic and all sorts of different things. It has some thruster bits right here, and also some repulsor bits, which I guess were technically supposed to be blue, but whatever. And then I was kind of looking through it. I was like, okay, cool. What's neat about it? And it does all these different poses. It's got the little arm rockets, and you can put the little thrusters and things on there. I guess those technically aren't repulsors. I thought they were, but and then you can do the hero pose, which we're definitely going to have to do. And I thought that was neat. And there was a couple other things in here that I thought was maybe they don't show it. Just a couple different poses. I guess that was it. The hero pose was the last one. But then I noticed this thing here where it said it requires batteries, so it lights up. Okay, cool. That's neat. I like LEDs. And then it said something about, this is what really caught my eye, was, 48 points of articulation. But the one thing, something in here about it goes into, I don't know where it is. But at some point in here, it said something about it goes with the Hulkbuster, and I'm like, wait, a Hulkbuster? This thing goes with a Hulkbuster? What do you mean? What do you mean goes with a Hulkbuster? So I looked it up. Not only does it go with a Hulkbuster suit, but it actually fits inside. Well, at least the top, the arms, and the torso, it attaches and then it fits inside. And I was like, okay, all right. So we've seen these new Space Marines from Joy Toy, and now we know there's an Invictus battle suit coming out that you can put one inside. And I was like looking at this, and I was like, okay, all right, now you got me. I'm interested. You had my curiosity, now you have my attention. But what I like most about this is not only does it fit in there, but you can kind of do some poses with him, like kind of standing up and stuff. So it all goes together. This part of it, the Hulkbuster suit, will be out, or the separate Hulkbuster figure will be out in May, and it's 12 inches tall. It's 12 inches tall. It's bigger than like a Warhound Titan. So I'm like, all right, I like my big robots. I got to get this. So I got it. Let's take a look at it. So it actually comes with plastic wrap around it, depending on where you buy it from. like I said, you already kind of know the price. Nice display quality box there with some really good graphics. The Velcro, it isn't, I mean, some people would probably want a magnet, you know, clasp, but I ain't mad about that. And then you can see the different hands. There's flight hand, and I think laser hand or repulsor hand. And then there's some attachments for the missile launchers. And you can't see the rest of it at the bottom. You can see there's some documentation and things in there. But I'm imagining that the flight or the display stand, yep, and the rest of the goodies down there, like the thrusters. So one of these is, I think these are the thrusters, these are the repulsors. I don't know why they're the same color, but I guess they are. So just to give you an idea, so you're going to get the instruction manual, and we'll take a separate look at that shortly and get all this assembled. So there's the model stand itself, and all these are going to pop off. Now I don't know what that piece is right there, so I'm going to try not to lose it because it looks really important, and it's really small and very easy to lose. But I think these are going to look better once we put some batteries in here and get a better look at it, because I'm actually not sure. This is kind of okay. Alright, we'll get that assembled here in a second, but let's put this aside. Take a closer look at the MK43 itself. So, get that open, of course. Oh wow, it feels heavy. Holy cow. This feels like a metal stapler, to be honest. Did not expect that. That's pretty ridiculous. Like, I literally feel like I'm playing with a toy from the 80s. Like, that is actual metal. Kind of crazy. Didn't expect that in 2021. Wow, this is really cool. The metal itself, I mean, it's very crisp. It shines. It doesn't feel dull. Oh, wow, there's so many different articulations. Like, I knew it was superposable, but dang. This is ridiculous. And then you get this opens. Oh, that moves. Okay. Now I know there's a way to put, I think the batteries go in here and also in the head. So I'm going to take a look at that. I might have to order some if I don't have some. I don't know what an A19 battery is. But man, this is really cool. Like, this is very girthy. So I'm going to play around with it for a few minutes and get the batteries in it and set up some things. But man, it even pivots there. It pivots down here. I knew it was superposable, but holy cow, this is definitely, I think this comes off. Yeah, that comes off, so you can put the flying stand in there. Really cool. I'm very impressed with this so far. This is this actually feels, it feels physical. It feels like a toy from the 80s. Wow, it's like, I don't even know what to say right now. Now, I had a chance to play around with it some and get it into a couple different poses and messing around with it, and it does light up, and I'll show you that here in a second, but I wanted to show you the poses I made. Now, I like this flying stand here. I think this is the DLX stand from what I understand, and it's really neat because when you do this pose where he's like coming into land, like blasting with a repulsor fist, that you kind of hide the stand because of the leg and the posing of the leg. Now you can see it here in the picture, but if you had this, you know, in front of you, you wouldn't be able to see the stand, which I thought was pretty neat. And of course you can do flying poses, because I'll show you more about the stand here in a second. It's extendable. It's like the Space Shuttle arm. And then of course hero pose, slap that together, and you can kind of see some of the flappers, some of the armor flaps that kind of retract and kind of move around as you actually articulate the model. Like the shoulder pads here kind of pop out. The thigh plates kind of pop out as well, and these little chest plates right here also can pop out, basically depending on how you move the arms, which this worked out really great. And these are really cool poses, and I still have him in the hero pose, but I'm about to show you all the stuff that I like and kind of the stuff I dislike about the model right here. Now here it is, hero pose. You gotta admit, it's pretty striking, and I'm still kind of taken back every time I pick this thing up, because it's a solid piece of gear, of kit. Like, it feels like a toy from the 80s. I'm not joking. Like, it feels like an old Transformer. It's got definitely a lot of metal going on in it, but you know, some other, you can tell when some of these pop off, they're not necessarily all metal, but they might have some stamped elements to it. So, you know, this is pretty neat. Now, I want to start with some of the stuff I didn't like first. So cons first. I'm kind of a bad news first kind of guy, I suppose. So you can do a lot with this kit. I like the little flappies, and I like, you know, I like all the different kind of poses you can do. But I want to show you what I personally didn't like. A couple of things about this kit here. So let's get it back so we can show you. Like I said, all the little flappies and things kind of do certain things. So first up, now you put the batteries in here, and this kind of slides out, and you can see there's a gap there. And the reason the gap is there, and maybe I did it wrong, is, well, because this battery pack doesn't seat down correctly, unfortunately. And I'm not sure if that's part of the trigger mechanism for clicking it on or clicking it off, but what I noticed was that when I click it on to get those lights, which are kind of hard to see, I guess, when you don't have, yeah, they're on. So when you don't have the when you have bright light on, there was this gap in the helmet that I ended up having to put a little piece of duct tape on, because you would see the gap, the light would show in the helmet. Now again, I'm not sure if I messed that up. You can kind of see some of the light down in there. I'm not sure if I messed that up and that's on me, but I spent a lot of time on it and I couldn't quite get it to work, unfortunately. And also when I pulled the torso apart here to get into the battery compartment for the chest batteries, this whole glue failed, and I had to actually kind of pry it out very carefully to get the batteries in there. So it didn't work so well. You're supposed to pull the screw out and this whole thing's supposed to come out. It didn't. It kind of stuck. The battery compartment kind of stuck inside of the little area right there. So I was a little disappointed in that. But that aside, something else I didn't realize too when I put the batteries in it, and maybe you'll notice this, is when you put the batteries in it, it doesn't automatically turn on the LED, which was kind of weird. And I was like, huh, is it on? Did I put it in wrong? Because I followed the instructions, which are kind of hard to read because they are very small. Maybe I have old people eyes, but I would have preferred a little bit bigger font and a little bit bigger diagrams personally. That might be more on me and my old people eyes. But so I couldn't quite figure it out, and maybe this is because I'm so new to these, like, you know, collectible with action and LED figures, that I didn't realize until I put the actual battery pack into here and clicked it, that I was like, oh, that's what turns it on. And I didn't realize that, and there's no documentation on it. So I was a little disappointed in that too. I feel like they could have done a little bit better of a job. But once you click on the light and the ones up here, I mean, it's just, you know, I've got bright lights smashing onto this right here, but you can tell even in the dark and even in the light, this thing is pretty crazy. And it's so shiny, it's throwing off the IR sensor, the IR range sensor from my camera right there too. So the only other thing that ever did that was my chrome airbrush. So that's pretty interesting to note there. So everything else about this kit I very much liked, or not this kit, this model, I very much liked. It's very dynamic, very posable. I think they said 47 points of articulation or 48 or something like that. And I can definitely say, yeah, definitely. It's kind of crazy, all the stuff you can do with this thing. You can switch out the hands. You can give them the pew pew laser hands. And there's ones where you can put the little thruster bits in there. And of course the thruster bits go in here, like I showed you in that one picture, which is, you know, doing the thing. You know, there's just so many different poses and things you can do. I liked looking at the example poses that they had on, I guess these need to pull up a little bit more and go into there. But like I said, those little flaps kind of move around depending on how you pose things there. So you can do a lot of different stuff with this. And I like the DLX stand, I think they call it, because it can do all these different things. And you can have them flying, you can have them, you know, doing basically anything, which is really neat. I hope these stands, I haven't opened up my Storm Shadow or my Snake Eyes, I hope they come with something like this to kind of position them. Otherwise I might have to get the old school 12-inch plastic stands. I might have to see what's out there on the market too. But overall, I'm really impressed with, you know, even at $90, you know, oh, the IR rangefinder isn't figuring it out. There we go. Even at $90, you know, and of course you can always get yours over at Entertainment Earth. They, you know, were nice enough to send me this basically for free. I think it's pretty cool little kit, and of course, you know, you take this part off and that will go inside the Hulkbuster when it's released. Definitely have that on pre-order already myself, and I just think it's very neat stuff out there. And then they come out with an Iron Patriot figure, which doesn't really tickle my pickle, so to speak, but hopefully if they come out with like more cool Marvel figures or something like that, I might have to pick up one or two more. I've been looking at the action figure assortment, the larger scale assortment over there, and definitely going to get my Invictor War Suit for the Joy Toy figures for Space Marines too, because that thing just looks very, very neat. So overall, I think it's a cool kit or cool model, It's got a lot going on with it, especially the cool LEDs and all the different poses you can do, and the fact that it comes, you know, you can just snap those, turn those on very easily and kind of put it up in your case or have it on your desk is just really, really neat, just to kind of have hanging around, you know, doing some blasts or something like that, or get them into the hero pose and put them up on a shelf, whatever you want to do there. So definitely check it out. There's a lot of cool figures coming out from ThreeZero, and of course Entertainment Earth has been doing it for 25 years over there, and I can't say enough good things about their shipping and their customer service. And you know, special shout out to them for hooking me up with this to talk with you guys about. And hopefully maybe we can do this a little bit more in the future. I like talking about different things here on the channel that interest me, at least, and hopefully if it interests me, it interests you as well. So that's it for this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our future videos. If you liked that video feature, consider supporting us over at patreon.com and get back in the mail each month a miniature crate full of some of the stuff we review here, as well as some of the top 3D artist designs out there too, to help support what they're doing. Plus discount coupon codes from some of those same manufacturers. They're yours to keep, whether you cancel or stay on. It's totally up to you. Obviously, we want to keep you as happy as possible. So check it out over at patreon.com/spikybits.